Hello, sisters and brothers. Our devotional for today, for May 18, is a reflection on My Utmost for His Highest, a series of devotionals written and compiled by Oswald Chambers. And you can always find the link to the daily devotional at utmost.org. Today we're going to read a devotional that's titled Living Simply Yet Focused. And for that, we're going to return to some familiar verses from Matthew chapter 6. So I'll begin at verse 25 and read through verse 29. Matthew 6:25. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I will tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. And the devotional that Chambers has prepared for us is titled Living Simply Yet Focused, focusing on these words: look at the birds of the air, consider the lilies of the field, from Matthew 6:26 and 28. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. They simply are. Think of the sea, the air, the sun, the stars, and the moon. All of these simply are as well. Yet what a ministry and service they render on our behalf. So often we impair God's designed influence, which He desires to exhibit through us, because our own conscious efforts to be consistent and useful. Jesus said there is only one way to develop and grow spiritually, and that is through focusing and concentrating on God. In essence, Jesus was saying, do not worry about being of use to others, simply believe in me. In other words, pay attention to the source, and out of you will flow rivers of living water. John 7, verse 38. We cannot discover the source of our natural life through common sense and reasoning. And Jesus is teaching here that growth in our spiritual life comes not from focusing directly on it, but from concentrating on our Father in heaven. Our Heavenly Father knows our circumstances, and if we will stay focused on Him instead of our circumstances, we will grow spiritually, just as the lilies of the field. The people who influence us the most are not those who detain us with their continual talk, but those who live their lives like the stars of the sky and the lilies of the field, simply and unaffectedly. Those are the lives that mold and shape us. If you want to be of use to God, maintain the proper relationship with Jesus Christ by staying focused on Him, and He will make use of you every minute you live, yet you will be unaware, on the conscious level of your life, that you are being used of Him. This is a good word for us to remember today, as we've found ourselves in a different position than what we were before, or we're not feeling especially useful like we are used to through our daily activities, through our routines. But here we're reminded that it's not what we do, but it is who we are that is the most impactful and influential way that God can use us. And the only way to be influential that way is to focus on God, and to focus on what He would have us to be, not on what He would have us to do. And some years ago, I developed a blog, and the title for it is Rooted and Reaching, thinking very much of how trees are both rooted and reaching for living water, but they're also reaching up towards the light. And I think that's how, in many ways, we're asked to be as well. I think we're able to learn a lot from them. Trees don't consider how they're useful; they just are. And only by staying rooted in the Word and continually reaching for the light, reaching for God, striving to seek more of Him, are we going to be of any use whatsoever. So if you're not feeling especially useful through what you do today, refocus and allow yourself to become a little more simplified in what you are concentrating on, that you're focusing on the source of life and that will cause your life to be of more impact. So I hope this encourages you today. Remember to live simply and to focus our efforts on God. Thank you as always for listening. Be safe and stay well.